Alright, this video is for the quick practice at the bottom of the split the middle notes. We'll just do 2 problems from there. You have 2 other split the middle practices as well that there will be videos on. When you split the middle, remember that your first step is to multiply the leading coefficient with the constant. So 2 times -3. That multiplies to -6. Once you're going to find 2 numbers here that multiply to -6 and add to -5. So you need to list out all the possible factors of -6. When I multiply to be a negative, I need a positive number and a negative number. So I'll start with +1 and -6, 2 and -3. Then I need to go the other way, -1 and +6, -2 and 3. Those are the only set of numbers that multiply to -6. The ones that add to -5 are going to be, it looks like 1 and -6. So once I've chosen my numbers, what I do is I bring down the first term, 2x squared. I bring down the last term, -3. And I split up the middle with the 2 numbers that I chose, 1x and -6. Now I have 4 terms here, and the factoring method we use for 4 terms is grouping. So I find a GCF for each group. 2x squared and x have an x in common. So I pull out the x and I'm left with 2x plus 1. Here, notice my third term is negative, so my GCF is going to be negative. And it looks like between -6 and -3, I'm going to pull out a -3. So when I divide a -3 out, I'm left with a positive 2x, and then -3 divided by a -3 is a 1. When you rewrite this, you pull the GCFs into one binomial times the parentheses that were the same, 2x plus 1. And that's your final answer. If you wanted to check your work here, you would use the distributive property. You take x times 2x, which is 2x squared, x times 1, -3 times 2x is -6x, and -3. And if you combine these terms here together, you get -5x, and that's exactly what you started with. Okay. So let's do the other one now. I'm going to cover that side up. Oh, maybe not. Oh well, that's okay. We'll just draw a line here. Maybe I'll do this. There we go. That makes it a little easier to see. So in this problem, I have x squared minus 5x in number 2. The leading coefficient here is a 1. So when you multiply the leading coefficient in the last term, you multiply 1 and -6. Those multiply to -6, which I think was the same list as last time. So maybe I'll just leave that list up here so we don't have to rewrite them again. 2 numbers that multiply to -6 and add to -5. Oh, and it looks like we're probably going to use the same numbers. We're going to use 1 and -6. 1 minus 6 is -5. So let's write this out. X squared and the -6 come down. Then you bring over the plus 1x minus 6x. All right, now here I can go ahead and start grouping first 2 terms and last 2 terms. From the first group, my GCF is just an x. So I'll have an x in front times x plus 1. Notice my third term is negative, so my GCF is going to be negative. And it looks like I can pull out a -6. When I divide a negative out, -6 divided by -6 is a positive 1x plus 1. These are the same, which is good. So you'll have x plus 1 times x minus 6 is your final answer. And just like before, you could check your work by using the distributive property. Okay? There are 2 other practices if you need more help on split the middle. Check the key on Canvas and ask your teacher for help.